Today I'm going to show you how to create a simple embroidery design using Embroidery Digitizing software. Let's get started. Welcome back, Legacy family, and today we have another digitizing request. This one is very cute, is a kawaii sun, so grab your software and follow along. I'm going to load up my backdrop. So at the top in your software, let's bring in our image by clicking load backdrop, and I have this sun design. Now I do have the sun vector as well, which might be a secondary tutorial soon. Here we have the sun design. As you can see, we brought it in as an image, so we need to resize it. To resize an image, you want to click on load backdrop and then select backdrop. Then you can right click to open up your properties, and then in the properties, I think I want to create this design in a 3 inches. It's going to be a cute, nice little design that you can potentially have on your left chest, or even if you want it as a kid's pajamas or onesie, this is a great design for that. Now, although this design looks a little bit complex at first glance, it's actually quite easy and we can accomplish creating all of it with just a few tools. So let's grab our widget tool, and I think I'm going to get started by creating all of the tiny details on the face. So let's grab the satin tool. Let's take out the grid. I don't think I need it. And actually, one more thing I'm going to do is in the backdrop, I'm going to select backdrop and just right click again on my properties to bring down the opacity, just so it's a little bit easier for me to see the stitches that we're going to create on top. Now let's grab the color black, that's fine. And I'm going to zoom in a little bit just so that I can left click. As soon as my widget tool is activated, it is going to let me left click, and I can put my first point down, and then I'm going to right click to put a few of these curved nodes. So we're just defining the area and then return back to the beginning. On my keyboard, I'm going to press enter, and you'll see that the shape was created. Even though it's not closed, that's completely fine. Next, you're going to see that there is a black outline, and this is where you add your inclinations for your satin stitches. So for me, I think I want it to be horizontal, so I'm going to click and drag from one side to the other. Let's leave it at 0 degrees. I can then let go, and you'll see that's my inclination point right there, and then I can press enter. We don't have to worry about our starts and stop, and then enter again. Now if I enable my 3D and I zoom out a little bit, you can see that very quickly we were able to create the eye of the sun. Now all we have to do is select that one. So I'm going to grab my select tool, and then I'm going to right click so that I can duplicate this shape. Now you'll see that in your sequence view, and if you don't know where that is, click at the top right to enable your sequence view. You'll see that we have the first one that we created and then our duplicate shape. We want to select the second eye, and on your mouse, you're going to click and hold your left mouse button and also shift on your keyboard, because then it's going to allow you to drag horizontally or vertically. This is perfect when you have symmetric designs, because then you can align it perfectly on a horizontal axis without losing that shape. And there we go, we have the second eye. That was so fast. Let's leave the sequence here because I think we're gonna use it again in a bit. And we are going to create this third shape, or the mouth. So once again, I'm going to make sure that my satin tool is enabled, and I'm going to press, I think, left click here to get started, then right click to create these curves. I can left click here, then right click, left click. And I'm just going around the outline that I can see that is the mouth. So right click to make curves, left click to do straight points, and just going around outlining that shape. There we go. I can get as close as I can to that first point that I created, and then I can press enter. You'll see that the black outline shows up one more time. Just how we did with the eye, we are going to create our inclination points. And what I love about the satin tool is that we don't just have one. So from one side to the other, I created my first inclinations. I can add multiple ones. So let's go all the way around here, because satins have curves to it. And then I'm going to press enter and enter one more time. You can see that these angles of these stitches are switching as we're going along the smile, which adds to that 3D effect of a design. Now, you'll notice that there is a stitch right here. And the program is smart because it's trying to tell us, hey, these two shapes are close to each other, so we're gonna find a way to connect. That way your machine isn't trimming. But we don't want that at this point. So what we can do is we can press Q on our keyboard. That is going to enable the path edit. Or on your toolbar at the top, you can come here to shape edit and then select path edit. Then let's select our third shape, so this satin path that we just created. And you'll notice that there is a green button and a red square. If you don't see those on your settings at the top left, make sure you go to View Commands, which is Shift+6, and that is going to enable these commands that you're seeing on screen. Now, green means that this is where the design is going to start stitching from, and we don't want that, so we are going to just drag it all the way down here. That way I'm telling the machine, you're gonna have to trim after you're finished creating the eye, then create a jump, go down here and then start stitching the whole smile, and then we can just make it start and stop in the same location. So there we go, we didn't have to apply any of the settings, we just have to move a really quick start and stop. We have mouth and the eyes. Let's create these rosy little cheeks. I'm going to select number 4 or pink, and then I'm going to do the same thing. Left click, utilizing my satin tool, and just go around, outlining this shape to the end. Then I can press enter. Now I want the angle for this one to go directly from top to bottom. So perfect, that is really good. And same thing in my sequence view, or I can select it in my sequence view, or I can select it here. I'm going to right click and I can do duplicate. And then I'm going to press and hold shift and then press and hold my left mouse button so that I can drag it horizontally in a nice symmetrical way. Awesome. That's looking really cool. Super nice and easy. Now let's take care of this other detail, this white over here. I'm going to grab a white color and same thing. You can see that all the shapes are so similar, and with just the satin tool, we are able to take care of all of these details. Going around, and there we go. Just outline that shape. I'm going to add my inclinations, and inclinations are pretty much just angles. So when I'm thinking of stitches, I'm thinking I want these stitches to go from this point to this point, but I also want these stitches on the right side to go almost from the top to the bottom. So you can see I'm changing the angle to 55 degrees, and over here I'm changing the angle to about 87 degrees. Now enter and enter, and you can see that those stitches are going from here, 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 and then changing that angle really, really nice. Awesome. Okay, we have all of the details done. Now we just have to create the rest of the sun. And I think we should get started by adding, let's start adding this yellow sun. For that, I'm going to grab a tool called a steel. And that is, again, you click on your brushes. Let's go to the steel tool. And what width should we have it at? 2.5 millimeters is really good. And instead of us having to create the circle the way that we've been making all of these other shapes, we can just switch over here. It says shape, and let's grab this circle tool. Now with this one, you'll see there's a bit of a cross, so we can click and drag from one side to the other to create our circle, and there we go. I'm going to leave it somewhere around there. Let's just change the color. I forgot to change that. Let's set it to yellow and make sure that in our sequence view, we have that organized properly. There we go. Yep. Let's see some settings on this sun, because I don't think I'm gonna leave it just like that. As you can see, if I disable my 3D view, and I might just switch it to another color very quickly because it's hard to see, the outline that we just created is on the outside shape. And I don't really want that. So when we open up our properties, and I'll just show you again, let's select the steel or the outline of the sun that we just made. Then at the top where your sequence is, you can select properties. There is this awesome tool called an inset. And if you were to modify the inset, let's say I'm gonna bring it over to around, let's say 90. Now you can see that all of the stitches are inside of where we want the outline of the sun. So you don't have to guess, bring the sun in or out. You can simply follow that outline and then bring the inset to get those stitches in place. Instead of using steel, we're going to switch to a fill because we need a fill underneath of these stitches, unless you're doing an applique, but that's for a future video. Now, I want my fill to be at a 45 degree, so that means that I have to apply push and pull compensation. Now, if push and pull compensation is new to you or you're finding it a little bit too confusing, make sure to click the link in the description to try out our Digitizing 101, because that's where you begin learning about the theory for digitizing, and it's completely free. So I'll leave it in the description. Now, I'm going to press left click to put my first point down, and taking into consideration my push right here, so these stitches are going to push, I'm also going to consider my pull compensation here. So that means I have to exaggerate it a little bit and then push once again, and then pull compensation this way, and we're just going to outline this shape like so. Perfect. Now we're going to click and drag because we're going to create our angles or our inclinations, and I'm going to press enter. And there we go. That is the fill. Now we do have to change the layers. So let's grab this yellow in our sequence view, and then let's bring it all the way to the top. If you click this button up here, it's going to bring it all the way back. But there are certain sections in this design that are not in the right place. So let's just modify them right now. This fill path should be all the way to the top. So I'm going to drag it and just drop it at the beginning, because in the sequence view, this is going to stitch out first, the fill, then it's going to do the outline, and then at this point, it is going to do all of the little details, but we still have the rays of the sun, so we're gonna work on that next. I think I'm going to utilize the steel again. I kind of enjoyed using the steel. So same thing, I'm going to leave it at, maybe let's do 2 instead of 2.5 millimeters. You can change the width here, let's do 2. And let's keep it at fast draw, that's fine. We are going to click on one of these points, and let's change the color to something like tangerine. We're going to click on one of these points, and then left click, and then just go around and left click on all of these edges. We're going to outline the full sun's edges. Just going around, left clicking. If it helps, you can zoom in. This is really good practice for you to get used to putting your nodes down with left clicking. So just going around, and we are almost back to the beginning. As you can see here, I don't have to go all the way to the end. I don't have to get super close, because this is an edge and that's an edge. I can press enter. You'll notice that that is going to be generated, and you're like, Ken, the sun needs to be fully closed. That's fine. We are going to select with our select tool, grab this shape that we just created, and then on your toolbar there's an option that says close shape. If you press that, you can see that the shape will close. You can also press O on your keyboard, so that's a quick little shortcut. And we're gonna do the same thing. Let's grab our properties. Let me take off the 3D, and let's bring the inset to around, let's say 80, 79, 80 is pretty good. Now we want to add a fill behind these outlines, so let's select the fill tool, and in my head I've already decided that I want the inclinations or the angles to be in a horizontal way. And the reason that is a little bit important is because that is going to define where I do my push and pull compensation. And this is where a lot of beginner digitizers end up making a big mistake, is creating the fill of the shape and then changing the angle afterwards, not realizing that the push and pull compensation has completely changed. Here, I'm going to make sure that I am accounting for my push, and then I have my pull, and we're gonna add more push and then pull compensation. Again, this is just all practice and going back to theory on digitizing. So I'm constantly trying to think about, oh, where could my stitches pull? Where could my stitches push? And then just trying to compensate for both. And going all the way up here, push, and then pull. And like any design, even though it might look perfect on your software, it might look completely different once you stitch it out. So it's all about trial and error and understanding what's happening with your stitches. Here I'm just going to click and drag because I'm leaving it at a 0% degree. I guess that's what it would be. And you can see that we've created the fill. Now let's do the same thing that we did with the yellow. And in our sequence view, I'm going to bring these two all the way to the bottom. And I do want to make sure that this path is secondary because I want the base to stitch out first. Before we can call this design done, we have to fix one major problem. And that is that this fill path that we just made is also stitching out underneath of the yellow. So that is one stitch, then two stitches, and both of them have underlay. That is when you end up creating designs that are so bulletproof, they are so thick because you're stacking stitches on top. So to prevent that, we are going to grab the first fill path that we created and we're going to cut a hole around it so we can allow this one, the yellow one, to stitch out without overwhelming the fabric with too many stitches. So let's take out the 3D and let me see what that looks like. Awesome. We can see that's the yellow. I'm going to grab the orange one, or the first fill, and then at the top right on the toolbar, we can select add hole. So let's click on add hole. You'll see that there is now a black outline just going all the way around those fills. And let's left click here and left click here. And I'm just going to try to create a bit of an overlap in this design. So I'm just going around and overlapping around that center of the yellow outline to create this hole. We're going to press enter, and you can see that on the fill path, I'm going to move it for a second. We created that hole. So if we return by doing Control Z or undo, there we go. Now we have that fill path, we have the steel, we have the secondary fill, we have the secondary outline, and then we have all of our shapes details on top. There should be no issues and no bulletproof stitching on this design. Now all the way at the top, let's click View Redraw. We're going to press play and we can see what the software is generating. This is what it would look like as your machine is stitching it out. That is looking awesome. Creating those outlines, then creating the second fill, creating that outline as well, and then creating the smile and the highlight of the sun. This design is ready to be embroidered, but before we take it onto the embroidery machine, we have to save our file. Now we want to make sure we save our native file format in this software. It is JDX, and at the top left you can click Save As. I'm going to click into this folder and I'm going to save it as Sun Design. Perfect. And I'm going to save it as a JDX. Now that we saved our native file format, we can export it to an embroidery machine file format. Besides Save As, you're going to see something that says Export As. And here is where you can select all of these embroidery machine file formats. There is PES, there is EXP, there's DST, there's whatever your machine uses, it is available here. For me, it is Tajima DST, so I'm gonna save it as that and then click Save. Now I can export that file onto my USB and I'm gonna go test this design out and I'll come back with the results. Here's the stitch out of the kawaii sunshine. It's looking so nice. Let me know in the comments, what was your favorite part of creating this design? For me, it was creating all of these tiny details, but honestly, just having the whole design come together. If you're interested in getting started with the Embroidery Legacy Digitizing software, I'll leave the link in the description, and don't forget that we have many more tutorials on digitizing in this channel, so I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers, guys.